Hi, I'm here with Doug Roberts, who is an executive coach and consultant. Doug, thanks for jumping on. And I want to get right into the entrepreneurial operating system. You and I were talking a bit offline and how that helps to identify core values. And this is something you're bringing to the table. So tell me a little bit about that, what you're doing.
Sure, Paul. Good to be with you. So, in previous blogs that I have on my YouTube site, I started a series about how do we apply EOS or the enterprise operating system to our businesses. It was developed by Gino Wickman, and it's used by thousands of companies worldwide, small and middle market companies. And my clients also, many of my clients also use it to run their businesses and with accountability and discipline. And there are six core elements within EOS that EOS talks about making your company 90% strong in these six core areas. And they are your vision for your company, the people, process, data, issues, understanding our issues and solving them, and over time those issues grow in quality, and traction, which is a book is a book called Traction by Gino Wickman, and it's all about building accountability and discipline in your organization. Okay, so let's zoom in on one of the elements of vision, and that is developing core values. So when I am doing a planning day with my clients, we are looking at each one of those six elements, and let's zoom in on core values, which are a part of vision. A lot of companies struggle with, gosh, what are my core values, and what is it that everybody talks about here about core values? And there's a great way that we use to uncover and to discover what the core values are for your business.
Bill, okay, I was going to say these are the values of the business, not of the
Right.
leader of the business.
That's right.
Or is there a crossover there?
Well, there always is, because the business, because leaders need to exemplify what the core values or the behaviors or traits that you're looking for are. And so that's why that in these planning days, we have the leadership team take a few quiet minutes individually to identify those traits and those behaviors that contribute to to the most productive work environment possible. And we have them do that, and we write up some of their ideas on a whiteboard. And then I say to them, okay, now I want you to identify 3 people in the business that if we had 100 more of them, we could take over our market. And so then we'll get them all to agree on who are the 3 that we want to use as exemplary employees. And then we identify their behaviors, and we add them to that list. It could be maybe they always take initiative, right, without being prompted, or they're always true to their commitments with integrity, or many other attributes that contribute, to a healthy work environment. And then we discuss Patrick Lencioni's concept that identifying core values is not something that you want to have, but it's really a discovery process. So it's values, Paul, that you already have, and so not those that you wish to have. And so there are 3 traps that he talks about that teams run into when they are identifying core values. And those 3 traps are: one is accidental. So they're values that arose spontaneously without leadership intent. So and they got us to where we are, but they're going to hurt us going forward. That's one. 2 is aspirational. Those are core values that, hey, you wish you had, but frankly you don't. And 3 is permission to play. So those are core values that really aren't truly unique to you. You know, many have them, and unless you really believe that you do it much more strongly than everybody else, let's not include that in our core values.
So you get into the weeds quite a bit when you're
Yeah.
doing these sessions with people on these values. And did
Exactly.
these things surface in a day? I mean, is this where you can get some clarity on things?
I usually get it done in a couple of hours, and this is an important part of the strategic planning process that frankly surprised me, that so many of my clients love to spend time on this. And so I end up limiting them to a couple of hours, frankly, Paul. um, but with all the things that we're trying to get done in the day. And so if that's not enough, then we say, okay, we've got the 4 or 5 core values that we think the company that we need to hire against and promote within the company, et cetera. Now let's, and here's where it gets fun. Let's rate each other. Each person rates everyone else on the leadership team, including the CEO, on how well they show those same core values.
Ooh, that sounds a
That's
little bit dicey for keeping your job if you're rating the
Yeah,
CEO.
exactly. That is an immediate job. Uh, you know, that's an immediate job performance review right there, right in front of everybody.
Check
And
mark.
and so this helps us determine, if truly we have these core values
All
that
right.
we think we aspire to. And often it's a wake-up call for certain executives, particularly in many cases the CEO. So he may or may not realize, he or she may or may not realize that, hey, I want to have these values, but my team doesn't think I even show these values. So it's a really powerful exercise. And so we finish with a set of 4 or 5 core values that we can then take out to that we know has legitimacy, right? And we can then take that out to drive our business.
Love it. Love
Yeah,
it. Yeah, well, I know that there's such a massive focus on values-based business today, and people really do care about it. And
yeah,
so this sounds like it's really focused on making sure that's in play for your clients.
right. Because many people, many leadership teams will get together and say, well, what are the core values we'd like to have? They come up with 7 or 9 core values, and they make no sense to anybody else because either nobody shows them, or they're pretty, they're like a permission to play core value. We have integrity. Well, let's just hope that you have integrity. Every company needs to have integrity.
Right.
Okay. And so these are core values, and we never use one word, by the way. We use a series of words to describe each core value. And but these are core values that have been vetted, and really make sense when they roll them out. So it's very powerful.
Love it. Love the work you're
Yeah.
doing, Doug.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing good
Yeah,
stuff.
you bet. I appreciate it.
All
Thanks for
right.
being with you.